Hello everyone. Welcome back to the editorial analysis and daily answer writing at 9 p.m. I'm Mohanapriya, faculty at Officers IAS Academy. If you're here for the first time, I would request you to go and watch the introduction video in this playlist to know more about this program and also to know how to participate in this initiative. So now let us get into discussion for the topic of today, that is about scientific deep drilling. Now, what is this scientific deep drilling? Scientific deep drilling is the mechanism of digging deep boreholes in the Earth's crust. This is done especially to understand the phenomenon of earthquakes and also to get a better understanding of the different types of rocks and energy resources which are found beneath our Earth's crust. Now, why was this scientific deep drilling in news? Recently, the Ministry of Earth Sciences has come up with India's sole scientific deep drilling mission in the Koyna region of Maharashtra. Why the Koyna region of Maharashtra? Because since 1962, this region has been experiencing frequent earthquakes, and this earthquakes was triggered by the reservoir that is built in the Koyna region. That is, the Koyna Dam was built, and after that only this region had suffered frequent earthquakes. Now that we have touched upon the topic of earthquakes, we will quickly go through the topic of earthquakes and then we'll come back to this topic of scientific deep drilling. Earthquakes continues to be one of the geophysical phenomenon which is least understood till date. Let me tell you why. Till now, the scientists are not able to predict when and where an earthquake will occur. Now, what is this earthquake? Earthquake refers to the shaking of ground which is triggered by the release of energy due to the sudden movement of plates beneath the Earth's crust. Continuously, the plates are moving, and as they move, there is a pressure which keeps on building. And at one particular day, which it gets suddenly released, and this release of energy is in the form of seismic waves, which results in shaking of ground. Now, let us understand the mechanism of earthquakes. Earthquakes can primarily occur in three regions. First, convergent plate boundaries. Convergent plate margins refers to the region where two plates are in contact and they push against each other. In this region, there is a continuous buildup of pressure, and beyond a certain threshold, there is a release of this pressure which results in very massive earthquakes. Earthquakes can also occur along divergent plate boundaries, that is, where two plates are moving apart from each other. Compared to the convergent plate margins, the earthquakes which occur along divergent plate margins are less intense. And there's also a third type of earthquake which can occur along transform plate boundaries. Transform plate boundaries are regions where two plates slide past each other. One major example of transform plate boundary is the San Andreas Fault. Apart from these three categories, earthquakes can also occur in the plate interiors. These are the most dangerous and challenging ones because we never know where these fault zones occur in the middle of the plate. And in case they are going to strike at a random day in a highly populated region, then the impacts can be catastrophic. And that is why the earthquakes which develop and occur in the plate interiors are most challenging. Having discussed the mechanism of earthquake, we're going to discuss about the regions of the world which are very, very vulnerable to earthquakes. The first most important region is the Pacific Ring of Fire. The entire region surrounding the Pacific Ocean is highly vulnerable to earthquake because there we have the Pacific plate which continuously keeps pushing against the plates which is surrounding it. The second most vulnerable region includes our very own Himalayas because the Indo-Australian plate is continuously pushing against the Eurasian plate. The third most important vulnerable region is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which is an underwater divergent plate boundary, and that is one of the longest ridge boundary in the world where two plates are moving apart from each other. Now, let us discuss about the vulnerable zones within India. India as such is a country which is prone to earthquake, and it has been divided into four seismic zones starting from seismic zone 2 to seismic zone 5, and seismic zone 5 remains the most vulnerable region. And the Himalayan belt continues to be the most prone region of earthquake because that is where you have the collision of Indo-Australian plate with the Eurasian plate. And after that, it is the northern plains since they lie close to the convergent plate margin. And also, the western and central India are also prone to earthquakes because we have many fault zones which is lying beneath these regions. So having discussed the vulnerable regions, so we have to now discuss about the measures that can be taken in order to make ourselves resilient to this impact of earthquakes. So first, we have to come up with proper earthquake resilient structures, because earthquake is a natural phenomenon which cannot be prevented. All that we can do is to make ourselves better prepared when an earthquake strikes and make our buildings much stronger. And second, we can come up with early warning systems. So it is important to come up with prediction models which will give us some buffer time to react, mitigate and prepare ourselves before an earthquake strikes. And the third important step that can be taken is proper land use planning. It is important to assess the regions which are highly prone to earthquakes, and then accordingly we have to decide whether construction activities can be allowed in that particular region, and it is better to prevent construction activities and habitation in regions which are highly prone to earthquakes. So, having discussed the measures that can be taken with regard to tackling the earthquakes, now let us get back to the role of scientific deep drilling in understanding earthquakes. As we've understood, earthquake is a geophysical phenomenon which happens under the Earth's crust. Therefore, near surface observations are not sufficient to get a better understanding of this phenomenon. So, this is where the role of scientific deep drilling comes into picture. So scientific deep drilling is, as we discussed, it is digging a borehole deep inside the Earth's crust. So it is like an underground telescope fitted with sensors to better understand the seismic activities. So it is going to give a more direct in situ observation, a direct close observation to the particular region from where the earthquake is occurring. And apart from that, scientific deep drilling also gives a better understanding of the type of rocks that is present, the type of soil that is present, the life forms and the evolution of life on earth, because the deep crust region gives a better understanding of what the earth has undergone during different climatic patterns of the world. So now we are going to discuss about some challenges which are present in this scientific deep drilling. As we discussed, scientific deep drilling involves digging boreholes deep inside the earth crust, and it's not easier as it is said, because beyond a particular region, earth becomes very hot, it becomes dark, and also the pressure keeps on increasing. That is, the high pressure region keeps on building. Therefore, long and continuous operations becomes very difficult. And also, digging such deep boreholes involves a lot of manual labor, and it is also involves a lot of capital costs. So it is labor as well as capital intensive. However, many countries such as US, China, Germany have involved in studying the earthquakes through scientific deep drilling techniques. And recently in India also, as we have discussed, the Borehole Geophysics Research Laboratory under the Ministry of Earth Sciences has decided to dig a 6-kilometer deep borehole in the Koyna Varna region to better understand the reservoir triggered earthquakes in the region which has been occurring since 1962. Based on the overall discussion, we understand that scientific deep drilling helps us in coming up with better prediction models with regard to earthquakes, enabling resource discovery because it is digging deep boreholes and it can give us a better understanding of the different types of rocks and energy resources found beneath the Earth's crust. And also, it can help us to come up with technical innovations in the field of seismology. So now, based on this discussion, I'm going to give you a question for today. Explain the mechanism of scientific deep drilling and its role in advancing the understanding of earthquakes. This is a 10-mark question for which you're expected to write an answer in 150 words. I request you all to make use of this opportunity and write answers daily, because this is definitely going to help you in your mains. So all the best.